All right, so I'm here with comedian Steve Marshall. How's it going?
Good.
So, you never been on the show before, right?
No, I've never been on the show, but I know Danny a long time.
Oh, you know Danny for a while?
Yes.
All right, cool. So you excited to be on the show today?
You know what? It's funny. I don't have the. It's not so much like when I first started doing comedy. Like the high was so great because I was so needy for attention that I would be this high, and then if I didn't do well, I would be this low. I would crash. And now I'm one of the few comedians. I use the term loosely. Who I think my highs have gotten lower and my lows have gotten higher. So you know, I'm pretty good about it.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm happy. You know, I love it. I love entertaining, and I love anything to do with comedy. And I like talking to people.
Right. What do you think you're going to talk about on the show? Anything specific on your mind?
No, I'm really actually I'm pretty much a blank slate, and that's until we touch on something that's you know that's within me or in my subconscious or something. No, I don't have anything really heavy on my mind. I really don't.
All right. Well, you know,
I hope this is refreshing to actually talk to a comedian who's not shoving punchlines down your throat.
Oh yeah, they're usually 20-minute videos. Thank you. So yeah, thanks for stopping by and have a good show.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for being so nice. I hope the vibe continues in there. I mean, I've known Danny a long time, and I've known Crew a while, and I like it. I hope we bring some warm feelings to radio.
The comedians were sort of kissing his ass. And something happened in me, I don't know, something, I looked at him and I just went into character and I was like, Andy, go in the room, start rehearsing your act, and just keep repeating the lines over and over again. You don't have to do it 100%. And he kept nodding, he kept going with it. Instead of fighting, he kept going with it. I said, I want you to go in and rehearse it. I'll be in about 5 minutes, I'm going for a cup of coffee. But then I'll come in and I'll listen to what you're going to do tonight. And he just went right with it. I said, all right, so I'm going for coffee, go in there and rehearse. He said, okay, and I walked out of the place. I did, I kept my character. I walked out and I never came back in. I still don't think. Yeah, that's what happened to me. In 1999, I was leaving a dry cleaners, and there was a woman who wasn't quite a grandmother, but in her late 50s. And she saw I was very mischievous, and she said, you behave, you. And I winked at her, I said, no way I'm going to behave. And then it hit me, yeah. That's totally.
That's how your tagline was born?
That's exactly how
From the dry cleaners?
Yeah, from the dry cleaners. I'm sorry. I think that's one of the reasons I'm not more well known is because if I had a publicist, it would be there's no way we're saying it.
And I've heard people say, oh well, you know, Steve, it's the type of material that he's doing, you know, but it's not even true.
It's not true.
Lisa Lampanelli is doing stereotype stuff too, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, not nearly as well as you do it.
Well, Lisa came to me. I coached. You know, I'm a comedy coach, and I coached Lisa a little. And I knew a lot of. I want to say something about Lisa Lamp. And I think another thing you can see when you speak to me is I was really there when things happened. And what is the truth? In other words. One comic goes on stage and they're a genius. The other comic goes on stage, they're dirty. Do you know what I mean? And like you said with the stereotype, my show is not about stereotypes. My show uses stereotypes to break the ice. In other words, there's a meaning behind it. In other words, you know, when you meet somebody and I'm Jewish and they never met somebody Jewish, the easiest way to make friends with them is to just go to a cheap joke right away. But we know it's a joke, all right? If there's a quarter on the floor and I go, I'll pick it up, and everybody laughs because it breaks the ice. And also, I noticed something that if you have the ability to laugh at yourself first, it puts people at ease. So a lot of my show is about putting people at ease as quickly as possible and getting all the ethnic groups. And I think I was really the first person to do that with all the ethnic groups. And my new thing that I've been talking about is the fact that if it's a joke, it can't be racist. So I'm not using my jokes like you'll never hear in my joke that you're bad because you're black, you're bad because you're Jewish, you're bad because you're gay. It's always be proud of who you are. You're Jewish, get a bigger nose. You're Italian, add more vowels at the end of your name. You know what I mean? It's always about being proud of who you are.
I enjoyed it so much, and I just thought Danny and Koo were just so, again, so generous in the way they listened and brought the stories out. And I hope all the stories that I told about Lisa Lampanelli, who again I say if I helped her, I only helped her 15%. I hope you really get how driven she was and how driven you have to be a comedian. And Rich Jennings talking about whether comedians are either great or they suck, there's no middle ground. And Tracy Morgan telling me to be relevant, and meeting Andy Kaufman. I hope I was a little bit of a just passing down the greats. I'm not one of the greats, but I hope I passed down the greats and kept them alive, and I hope that's what Comical Radio does and comedy clubs do, is just keep the greats alive. Thanks for having me. Don't behave.
Comical Radio.